Okay, so Guilty Gear is a fighting game series made by ArcSystemWorks and created by Daisuke Ishiwatari. Fans of the series will say that aside from the gameplay, the core of the series is identified through its music and the influence from Western rock and metal artists. I'm sure you're asking, what exactly does this have to do with sociology? And I think it's a simple answer. The series being primarily influenced by Western rock and metal means that one of the defining themes of the story is counterculture, and going against what the norms of society are. On the surface, Guilty Gear already goes against the norms of the fighting game genre, where instead of the main character being a natural-born fighter or martial artist with short hair who's destined to clash with the villain, Guilty Gear's main character is Soul Bad Guy. Soul Bad Guy is a lazy guy who used to be a scientist. He only puts effort into a fight when he thinks that it's worth it, he has long hair that he keeps up in a ponytail, and generally just doesn't give a shit about most things beside his sheer heart attack album and killing the main villain. It's not just subversions of genre tropes, however. The main theme of Guilty Gear Strive, the latest game in the series, includes lyrics such as
That is bullshit blazing, to my heart is blazing. If I lose my wings, I don't need a new world under you.
and
My time is my word. Your words will never let me disappear.
these are just a few lyrics from the same song, and they're very clear shots at going against the norms of society and being able to rise up against oppressors who might want you gone. Previous main themes include lyrics such as
One day I noticed that the world was broken. Spoiled as hell, we had our senses down. Oh, I won't see this whole world falling blue. Not this face marched in black. Get up the
This lyric's written from the perspective of someone who acknowledges the world's faults and hopes that we can all be better. These ideas of counterculture and anti-establishment themes seep into the story too. The overarching opposing forces of the series are known as Gears. Gears are initially introduced as inhuman monsters or thoughtless drones who wish to kill off mankind at the command of justice. Then we're introduced to Dizzy, a human gear hybrid who is capable of human emotion. She's the exact opposite of the mindless antagonistic force that her mother was like. The deuteragonist, Kai Kisk, falls in love with Dizzy despite the stigma that Gears carry and the repercussions that it might have for his people who have hated Gears for centuries. The story of Kai and Dizzy has parallels to things such as mixed-race couples and how that's historically been frowned upon in Puritan societies. Baiken and Anji Mito are both characters of Japanese descent who used to live in internment camps after Gears destroyed all of Japan. Baiken wanted to kill the man who created Gears, and Anji valued his own freedom above all else. The both of them would go on to leave the Japanese colonies, making them both fugitives under the current system of law. Ramelthal Valentine and Elfhelt Valentine were both puppets created by the unloving universal will with the sole purpose of killing humanity. They would both go on to defy their creator and would find love and new purpose in the simple pleasures of human life. Johnny is the leader of a group of pirates who all operate outside of the law, and their massive ship which they use to engage in hijinks in was stolen from one of the world governments. Potemkin was a former slave who was one of the key figures in holding a revolution which would free his home country. Characters such as Venom, Testament, and Bridget embody rock and metal's long-running ties with the LGBT community, as well as becoming icons for being progressive and pushing back against the heteronormative society the Japanese government tries to enforce. The main antagonist of the series was literally referred to as the Man for almost 20 years of the series' existence. I repeat, the recurring central antagonist was a near-faceless person who was called the Man. Okay, long story short, counterculture kinda sorta helped define Guilty Gear. And it rocks.